If you're ever driving alone at night and your GPS tells you to turn onto a road with no name, keep going. Do not take that turn, because some roads are not meant to be found twice. This happened to me 3 years ago, and I still don't drive after midnight anymore. It was past 1:40 a.m. when I left the highway. I remember the exact time because I checked the dashboard clock twice. Once out of habit, and once because my phone had completely lost signal. No bars, no data, no emergency network, just a blank triangle where reception should be. I've been driving for nearly 5 hours already. Long return trip, empty road, no music, just the steady hum of the engine and the soft vibration of tires against asphalt. You know that feeling when the world feels switched off? That. No trucks, no distant headlights, no roadside shops open. Just darkness sitting on both sides of the road like a wall. Not even in the city, not even with people, because what I saw that night wasn't supposed to see me back. My GPS suddenly recalculated. The voice changed tone, not wrong, just slightly slower. Turn right in 300 meters. There was no right turn on the highway. I slowed down. Another instruction came. Turn right. The map showed a thin gray road splitting into trees. No road name, no number, just a line. I should have ignored it. I know that now, but I was tired. And when you're tired, shortcuts feel like gifts. So I took it. The moment my car left the highway, the temperature dropped. Not outside, inside. The windshield fogged at the edges. I checked the AC. It was off. I turned it on. Nothing changed. That's when I noticed the smell. Wet soil, like freshly dug ground. Not forest smell, not rain. Fresh earth. The road was too smooth for a forest road. No cracks, no potholes, no leaves, no tire marks. Like it had been built yesterday. My headlights stretched ahead, but the beams seemed shorter than usual. Like the darkness was absorbing it. I laughed nervously and said out loud, "Okay, creepy shortcut. Very funny. Talking helps when you're alone, or at least it feels like it does." 2 minutes in, I saw the first sign. A road sign on the left side. No symbols, no words, just a blackboard with white paint scratched across it like claw marks. Not letters, scratches. I slowed down. My headlights passed over it, and for half a second, I thought the scratches moved. I told myself it was shadow distortion. I kept driving. Here's where it gets strange. My trip meter reset itself. I didn't touch it. The number went from 214.6 kilometers to 0.0, exactly when I passed that sign. I remember because I actually said, "Okay, no, that's weird." I checked the dashboard settings. Nothing wrong. Then the GPS spoke again. "Continue straight for 1 Kilometer." The progress bar did not move. Not even slightly. I drove for at least 5 minutes. Still said 1 kilometer. That's when I started feeling watched. You know that sensation, when your brain quietly tells you, you're not alone here, but your eyes see nothing. I checked the rearview mirror. No headlights behind me. Checked again. Still none. Checked a third time. And for one frame, there was a car behind me. Close. Very close. My heart jumped and I turned. Nothing. Empty road. Mirrors showed nothing again. I laughed, but it came out wrong. Tight. Dry. Okay. You're tired. That's all. I increased speed. The speedometer needle shook slightly. Not vibrating, shaking, like something was resisting it. Then the radio turned on. By itself. Static first. Then breathing. Not sound like wind. Breathing. Slow. Vet. Right next to the microphone. I reached and shut it off. It turned back on. Static again. Then a whisper. Not language. Just tone. Like someone trying to remember how words work. I pulled the radio fuse. The sound continued. From the speakers. With the fuse removed. That's when I stopped the car. Worst decision number 2. The engine idled. The sound of it felt too loud in the forest. Like it didn't belong there. I opened the door slightly. Cold air came in. Heavy, damp, thick. No insect noise. no wind. Forests are never silent. Never. Unless something is wrong. I stepped out and immediately noticed no tire tracks behind my car. None. Not even for my own vehicle. The road looked untouched. Perfect. Unused. Like a display model of a road. Then I heard footsteps. Behind me. On the road. Slow. Measured. Matching the rhythm of someone walking casually. I turned. Nobody there. But the sound continued. Step. 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 Coming closer. Right up to where I stood. Then stopped. 2 feet behind me. I didn't turn again. I couldn't. Because every instinct I'd screamed. If you look, it will be there. It was past 1:40 a.m. when I left the highway. I remember the exact time because I checked the dashboard clock twice, once out of habit, and once because my phone had completely lost signal. No bars, no data, not even emergency network. Just a hollow icon where reception should be. I had been driving for nearly 5 hours. The kind of drive where your thoughts get loud and the world gets quiet. No music playing, just the steady hum of the engine and the soft, hypnotic rhythm of tires rolling over asphalt. You know that feeling when it seems like the rest of the world has gone offline. It felt like that. No trucks passing, no distant headlights, no roadside tea stalls glowing in the dark. Just night, sitting heavy on both sides of the road. Then the GPS recalculated. But the voice sounded different. Same voice, same accent, just slower, thicker. Turn right in 300 meters. There was no right turn on the highway. I frowned and leaned forward, checking the map screen. A thin gray line appeared where there should have been nothing, cutting into a block of dark green forest. No road name, no route number, just a path. The ETA dropped by 20 minutes. That's how shortcuts trick you. They look like kindness. I took it. The moment my car left the highway, the sound changed. Not outside, inside. The cabin felt padded, like the air had weight. The familiar road noise vanished, replaced by a dull, muffled roll, as if I were driving over carpet instead of asphalt. The windshield fogged lightly around the edges. The AC was off. I turned it on. No difference. Then came the smell. Damp soil, cold earth, like ground that had just been opened. Not forest fresh, not leafy, disturbed. I checked my shoes instinctively, still on the pedals, still clean. I laughed under my breath. Okay, creepy shortcut. Talking out loud makes you feel less alone. Sometimes, the road was unnaturally perfect. No cracks, no gravel, no leaves blown across it. Forest roads are messy, but this one looked manufactured, like a showroom sample. My headlights stretched forward, but the beam felt short, swallowed early by darkness that seemed too dense. Then I passed a road sign. Left side, blackboard, white marks scratched across it. Not letters, not symbols, just long, uneven streaks, like something with claws tried to write. As my headlights moved over it, I swear, for half a heartbeat, the scratches shifted. I told myself it was angle distortion. I kept driving. Exactly when I passed that sign, my trip meter reset. 214.6 km. 0.0. No button press. No warning. Just reset. I actually said it out loud. Nope, that's not normal. I tapped the dashboard controls. Nothing glitched. Everything else looked fine. The GPS spoke again. Continue straight for 1 kilometer. The progress bar didn't move. I drove. 2 minutes. 3. 5. Still 1 kilometer. That's when the feeling started. The one you can't prove, but you can't ignore. The feeling that something had noticed me arrive. I checked the rearview mirror. Empty road. Checked again. Still empty. Third time. There was a car behind me. Close. Too close. My chest tightened. I turned instantly. Nothing. Mirror. Empty again. No lights. No shape. No car. My mouth went dry. Okay. You're tired, I said. That's it. But I stopped checking the mirror after that, because I didn't want to see it again. The radio clicked on by itself. Static poured through the speakers. I reached to shut it off. The knob didn't respond. Through the static came a sound. Breathing. Slow. Vet. Right against a microphone. I pulled the radio fuse from the panel. The sound continued. Same volume. Same breathing. From dead speakers. I eased my foot off the accelerator. And that's when something crossed the road ahead. Not running. Walking. Slowly. From one side of the darkness to the other. Tall. Thin. Human-shaped. But wrong in the way it moved. Like its joints were suggestions, not limits. It didn't look at my car. It didn't react to the headlights. It just crossed and stepped into the trees. I never saw its face. And somehow, that was worse. I should have turned around right then. Anyone normal would have. But fear doesn't always make you retreat. Sometimes it locks you into moving forward just to get it over with. I told myself I imagined the figure. Fatigue. Highway hypnosis. Shadow distortion. I kept driving. The trees grew closer to the road. Not gradually, suddenly. Like the forest had leaned in while I wasn't looking. Branches arched overhead, forming a tunnel. My headlights bounced off bark that looked almost wet. Reflective, like skin after rain. The GPS spoke again. Continue straight. No distance this time. Just continue. My fuel gauge dropped by 1 bar. Then another. Too fast. I had filled the tank before leaving the city. There was no way. I tapped the glass. The needle kept sinking. That's when the dashboard clock changed. 1:52 a.m. 1:52 a.m. It blinked once. Still 1:52. Seconds not moving. Time had stalled, but the car wasn't. My breathing got shallow. Okay, I whispered. Okay, not real. Not real. But my hands were shaking on the wheel now. Then I saw the reflector posts on the roadside. You know, the small white roadside markers? They started appearing every few meters. Except they weren't reflectors. They were candles. Tall, thin, burning steadily. No wind, no flieke. Just rows of perfectly spaced candles lining both sides of the road like a runway for something that lands from below. Wax hadn't melted. Flame didn't move. I drove between them. And as my car passed, each flame went out. Not blown, pinched, one by one, behind me, in perfect timing with my speed. I did not check the mirror. I did not check the mirror. I did not check the mirror. I checked the mirror. The road behind me was completely dark. No candes, no lights, no road, just black, like my car was the only lit object in existence. The GPS map zoomed in by itself. Closer, closer, until my car icon filled the screen. Then the map changed. It wasn't a navigation map anymore. It was a top-down drawing of my car, driving on a black strip, and behind the car, drawn in thin red lines. Something was following. Long, too long, been in too many places, keeping the same distance no matter how fast I went. I pressed the accelerator. The engine screamed, but the speed stayed 40, like the car had decided its own limit. Then my phone rang. No signal, but it rang. I answered without thinking. Then my own voice whispered, "You didn't turn when I told you to." The call ended. My screen went black. Battery, 73%. Still black. Dead interface. Working phone. Dead screen. That's when I heard the tapping. From the roof. Light. Curious. Like fingers learning the shape of the car. Top. Top, top. Top, top. Moving from the back toward the windshield. I didn't look up. I couldn't. Because I knew if I saw even a reflection, I would stop the car. And if I stopped the car, something would open the door. The road ended without warning. No curve. No sign. Just end. Headlights poured into emptiness. A massive open pit stretched ahead, like a quarry or excavation site. Fog swirling inside it, glowing faintly gray. I slammed the brakes. The car stopped inches from the drop. Engine died. Lights died. Everything died. Silence hit like pressure in my ears. Then one sound. A car door opening. Behind me. Not mine. Another vehicle. I was no longer alone on the road. Slow footsteps approached my driver window. I turned, finally, because some fears become heavier than the fear of seeing. A man stood there in old highway patrol uniform. Outdated badge. Rusted buttons. Cap too small. His face calm. Too calm. He leaned down and said gently, "You took the wrong year's exit." I couldn't answer. My throat wouldn't move. He pointed past me to the pit. Dozens of headlights glowed down there through the fog. Cars. Stacked. Layered. Different decades of models. All wrecked. All pointing downward. Like they had driven straight in. He straightened and stepped back. "Reverse," he said softly. "Do not turn around. Reverse only. Eyes forward." I did exactly that. Didn't check mirrors. Didn't look sideways. Just reversed, slowly, shaking, crying without realizing it. The car restarted on its own. Lights came back. Engine smooth. When I reached far enough back, the highway suddenly existed behind me again. Bright. Normal. With distant truck lights. I blinked. The forest road was gone. No turn. No path. No break in the railing. Just continuous highway barrier. My clock read. 1:40 a.m. Same as when I turned off. Fuel tank full. Trip meter unchanged. 214.6 chilometri. Radio playing soft music. Signal full bars. I drove home without stopping. Without music. Without blinking much. Next morning, I checked my dashcam footage. The highway portion was there. My turn signal clicking right. Toward empty guardrail. Then video static for exactly 12 minutes. Then I was back on the highway, reversing at high speed, with no side road visible. Police later told me something I wish they hadn't. 23 years ago, a temporary detour road had existed in that exact stretch during construction. It led to an unfinished excavation drop. 7 night drivers followed bad directions and drove straight in. No survivors. They removed the road, removed it from maps, removed the signage. But sometimes, late at night, when traffic is low, navigation systems still remember it. And now you know too, if your GPS offers a faster route onto a road with no name, keep driving, even if it insists. Some shortcuts are still under construction.